Now that we have devised a plan, it's time to implement a solution for that plan. So we'll create a new Python script and we can save it somewhere where it makes sense to us. This is lecture 4, task number 5. And when we have our Python script here, it's time to start actually writing the code here. And we see that the first two things we need to do is to declare two variables. Alright, and now it's time to write an if statement. We see that if it's true, we're going to have another if statement, and if it's false, if our condition is false, we're going to write that it's no need to brake. So what is the condition? We're going to check if current speed is greater than the speed limit. Okay, let's try to do that. If current speed is greater than the speed limit, and for now I'm going to leave that one and I'm going to say alright, because if it is true, we're going to write this if statement in a second. I just want to finish up this bit first, because here we're just going to print this and then it's to the end. So let's finish this one. And what should we say here? We should say that there is no need to brake. But on the other hand, if we are driving faster than the speed limits, we should check something else, and that is how much faster we are driving. So we do need another if statement here. But I think what I'm going to do before I actually do this if statement is to calculate what the difference is. We see that we are going to check if it's less than 5 kilometers an hour too fast. Alright, and how do we know that? How do we know that? Well, we have to calculate it. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a new variable. And we know that we are driving faster than the speed limit, so we take our current speed minus the speed limit and we will get the difference. And then we'll start writing our if statement here. So if the difference is less than 5, alright, if the difference is less than 5, then we should say that we should stop accelerating. But if we are driving faster or equal to 5 kilometers an hour too fast, then we should print a message to say it's time to brake. Right, so let's see here, we have declared our two variables. We are checking if we're driving faster than the speed limit, which is here. If we are not, we should display this message, which means that, alright, we go to the else and we print that message. Otherwise, we go in here if it's true. And what do we say then? Then we have another if statement to check how much too fast we are driving. That's this one here. And we can see now that we have created this variable here, that it is easier to read this if statement if the difference is less than 5. We could also replace the difference here, so we don't need to declare the variable and write this bit here instead within parentheses. Then that would mean the same thing, but I think it's easier to read it this way, so that is why I introduced this variable here. It becomes clearer to whoever reads the code that, alright, we're checking the difference between the two. And then we have the two different messages here, which are these two here. So we can see that our code corresponds to what we have here. Now it's time to try it and see what the output is. And we see that, alright, it says that we should brake, that is because we are driving 10 kilometers too fast. So what if we are just driving 82 kilometers an hour? Then it says that we should stop accelerating because it's less than 5 kilometers an hour too fast. What if I drive really slow? Then there is no need to brake because we are way under the speed limit. So from this here we can see that, alright, we have nested if statements, and we can think about, is there any other way that we could have solved this task? Well, there is, because we could have written our if statement, our nested if statements, as an if else if statement, and say that if it is more than 5 kilometers too fast, then we brake. Otherwise, we have another case where we say that we stop accelerating. And one last else where we say that there is no need to brake. So we could have written this in a little bit of a different way if we wanted to. But I think writing it this way, it corresponds very nicely to the flow chart.